In today's video, I'll be working on a battery. I'm going to be adding the Optima Yellow top in my 2021 WRX STI. I've been having a lot of battery issues for the last few months. Specifically, I think it's been getting progressively worse over time. I've been jump starting it. Would have to jump start it every week, and then every few days, and then now it's like every time I turn on the car and stop it and then try to turn it back on, I have to jump start it. So my battery is going, and I've been looking for an alternative. I was considering getting an OEM Subaru battery, but I've been hearing from the WRX community saying that these batteries don't last. So this is a new one here. I picked out the yellow top, or the Optima battery, just because I heard great things about it. It's deep cycling, so it's good for if you have aftermarket electronic equipment. But also, if this is your weekend driver, which my STI is, really great for that. So pretty excited to put it in the car. In terms of cold cranking amps, it's about 620, so it's about the same as an OEM battery. I'll go again and give you guys a side-by-side difference, but first off, let's just take out the battery from the WRX, and I'll do that now. So just gonna pop the hood and just lift it on the struts right over there. And you can see that this is the battery on the right side. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a 10mm and take it apart. So first things first, general battery procedure, take off the negative first. I have a 10mm here. It's gonna be on a 3-inch extension just for extra flexibility. And then once the negative's loose, we can go ahead and take out the positive over here. So I'm going to go ahead and take the same 10mm and just loosen the terminal there, and just keep going there until I can push it out. It's on pretty tight. Let's see if I can wiggle it out, and it's released at this point. I'm just going to make sure it doesn't touch the terminals anymore, at least together. And then I'm going to start to take apart the battery tie down, or the battery cover up top. At this point, I'm going to need a 10mm deep socket because it's a little bit too short here. Picked up a deep socket so I can go ahead and take off the nut on this side. And I'm pretty much going to loosen it until I can pull out the rod. Let me go ahead and show you guys where the rod is connected to before I take it off. So right over here on the bottom, you can see the rod is inserted in this little metal piece here, connected to the chassis. Looks like the connection of the rod is inserted on this angle here. So when I pull it out, let's see, yeah, it just comes out there. So it looks like there's like a little tiny hole. I can point to it. Let's see, right over there. That's where the rod's going to be inserted. So when you put it back, you want to put it in the same place. And then over on the back side, there's another rod that sits there, but you can't see it right now. All right, so I'm going to completely remove the front rod here and just put the nut back on so I don't lose it. Put it on the floor on the side. So this battery is loose, and try to slide it forward a little bit, and then I'll put this positive one around the corner here so it doesn't get in my way. I'm going to try to lift it out now, if I can pull out this tie down completely. And actually, let's take out the cover first, so this little foam cover around it. Now I'm going to just gently lift out the battery. Just keep it vertical. It's liquid or acid based, so you don't want to spill anything. And then I'm just lifting out the cover completely. Okay, as far as the battery goes, it sits below a battery tray, and that's just where the battery tray sits. But inserted with this top bracket here, where the connection lies, it's going to be actually this little oval section here. It doesn't fit up here. It's going to fit right there, and that should allow you to reconnect the backside when you actually go do it. Just wanted to show you guys that really quickly before I show you guys the comparison of the OEM versus Optima Yellow top. So this OEM battery over here, I'm going to read off the specs in a second, but I've used a battery maintainer and recharged it overnight a few times, and it helps just for like a few days, but then it just dies really quickly. So it's just telling me that after about 4 years. I'm about 4 years with the car now. This battery is about 4,800 miles. It's due for a change, and I think it just hit the cusp of how long they say the battery is going to last. But I've been using this portable jump starter at 2,000 amps. You can get it at 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, as well as potentially even higher, but 2,000 is plenty. And it charges pretty well. You plug it in here when you need to jump start, and then you connect the red and the black positive and negative terminals, and then you just jump start it and you're good to go. So highly recommend it if you ever need a jump starter. And I've been jump starting it a few times now, and it saved me. So it keeps me on the road, and you don't have to wait for anyone. So I'll put a link down in the description if you're interested in that. So now let's just talk about both of the batteries. Let's do a side-by-side comparison. It's not much difference. They're both the same size, I think size 35. And you can see on the left side there, it's the Subaru OEM battery. Supposed to last about 48 months. They used to last a lot longer. They'll give you a 12-month free replacement if it dies earlier. But it's liquid based. It has some battery acid in there. So you want to be careful when you're actually moving it back and forth. The nice thing about the Optima Yellow top is that it's pretty much gel based inside, so you don't have to worry about all that. And then the warranty is a little bit better, 3-year free replacement with proof of purchase. I picked this up at O'Reilly, and so it's been pretty good. In terms of cold cranking amps, they're about the same. You can see over here, 620 cold cranking amps, model number D35, part number YEL35, so just the yellow top, and then cold cranking amps here, CCA 620. So if you're just looking to compare both and you're just wondering, like, is it the same? It pretty much is, except that this has deep cycling performance, so it's really good for if you're running those electronics, a subwoofer, maybe even a dash cam, or you just don't drive it as often as I do. The other thing to know about this one is, if you're debating between the yellow top or the red top, it's good if it's an OEM car. Potentially track, because I think it's lighter than the yellow top. I haven't been able to feel the red one. And then it also has a higher cold cranking amps, about 720. So it's really good for that if you're looking to get that. But if you're in doubt, or if you're someone like me that has this weekend driver, I'd get the yellow top if you're looking for it. But these are all the specs for the OEM one, as you can see there. And then let me show you guys pretty much a close-up of both batteries. And then over here, we have the yellow top. So the yellow top comes with this cover when you buy it, but pretty much you take it off. And it has these little cylinders around it, 3 cylinders on each side of a total of 6. And like I said, it's non-spillable. You can see that it says it's a lead acid battery, but it's gel based within it, so you don't have to worry about it spilling like these OEM batteries here. You won't have to worry about corrosion. It doesn't actually leak from the top terminals because it's gel based, so that's also a nice feature of the Optima batteries. Also gives you a nice handle, but you can see from a visual, it's a little bit smaller than the OEM battery, and it's not as tall. So in terms of the size, slightly smaller, and if you can see from the top here, you can see it's also smaller in terms of length and width. So that's the difference between an OEM or any battery you picked up versus this Optima battery, which is slightly smaller. So in terms of weight, I've picked both of them up, and I feel like the Optima is a tad bit lighter, but it's really not significant. I think the red top is a lot lighter than the yellow top, but it's totally up to you on how you want it. In terms of the handle here, you could choose to take it off completely, but it does give you a little handle that you can slide behind the side here if you wanted to carry it and keep it on, or you can just take it off completely. Potentially when you install it, it might have a cleaner look if you take the whole handle off, but again, it's not going to save you much weight, just maybe a visual difference there. I'm going to use that to just carry the battery, but that's pretty much the difference between the two. Let's go ahead and bring this over the car and install it. So the first thing we're going to do is put the battery tray back on. This is it here, and you just want to match the holes. This big one, the center, this arrow says battery facing tray facing front, and then there's a little rivet here, so just match those 2 holes and slide it in. So I've twisted off the back rod from the negative terminal. I couldn't pull it out earlier, so I just kind of twisted left and it was able to release. I'm just going to move the cables out of the way. There's no power right now, so I don't have to worry about that at this moment. All right, so with the Optima battery, I'm going to bring it forward now. It's just going to fit directly in the tray. All right, okay. Give it a little wiggle, just make sure it's in place. You want the positive on the left side there, so it connects. And then potentially, I'm just going to take off the handles because I do have the foam cover here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back. I'm not sure if it'll fit. I think it's a little bit smaller, but I'm just going to keep it there anyways. All right, so one of the issues that you'll have with installing the Optima Yellow top battery like I'm doing right now is the foam cushion here that protects the original battery. It's a little bit higher on this side, right? And so you might not be able to use that, but actually even further, one of the issues is I'm at the lowest setting of this tie down rod. And if I insert it into the area, it's still sitting a little bit high. So it can't actually tie down the battery securely, so there'll actually be some movement. So that's not good. And so what we're going to need is a battery spacer. Luckily, Optima does give it to you, and then I didn't realize it before, but in the top cover that they do for shipping, you have the battery terminals there just to protect it. There's actually, if you take a look, it says it's separated from A and B and used under the battery if needed. So there's like a battery spacer that they give you. Let's go ahead and take it off of the top cover, and we're going to use that today. So that's good actually. So we don't need to do much there. So we're going to snap this to the bottom of the battery itself, and it should bring it up just a little bit. Not too much, but hopefully that'll help. So yeah, the cover you can actually stick to the bottom, and there's actually different settings. So you can have a small one here or even a thicker one here. I think we're going to use the thicker one because the battery is pretty short. So let's go ahead and try both. All right, as you can see, I've already flipped the bigger part of the battery spacer, that little top protection underneath the Optima battery, and it looks like it's sitting about the same height as the original battery. So we're just going to use that. That way you can actually tie down the battery properly. I could use this one and keep this on there, but it looked like it would make the Optima battery sit a little bit higher, and we still have enough space for the battery tie down. So I might just not use this unless the battery tray doesn't fit perfectly. If not, I'll slide this on the bottom. But let's go ahead and go back there and take a look. So I'll go ahead and grab the battery now again with the spacer, and we'll just drop it down again. Make sure the tray is sitting in place, and it is. And I'll take again out the battery holder. If you want to reuse the tray, which I do, the little foam pad protection, let's see how that fits and if the fitment is okay. It does look like it does fit, and the tray now sits below it. Obviously the Optima battery is a little bit smaller than the original OEM battery, so there'll be actually some extra space in between. I think we can just go ahead and tie it down now. We didn't need the extra spacer, and the extra spacer is here. But it's pretty cool that they give it to you. It's a lifesaver. Just a little tip: if you're installing the Optima battery for your first time, don't throw that away quite yet, and just make sure everything works as intended. So I'm just sliding it below just to check, and it looks like I can tighten it down a little bit more. So I'm just going to hold up the rod and just tighten the nut from this side. I'm going to grab the other rod, and as I showed you guys before, right below there, the connection point is going to be on this side, and there should be a little hole on the side right there, and that's where you insert it. But before you do that, you got to stick it back in the battery tie down. So I'm going to take off the nut this time, And for this Optima battery, I'm just going to insert it in that little hole that I showed you guys just a second ago. And I'll just stick it right on top here. And it looks like there's just enough space. Let's go get a 10mm wrench and start tightening it down. So I have the 10mm deep socket here. And I'm just going to start to tighten it to see how it goes. Alright, so the Optima battery does sit a tad bit lower just from sliding in. So what I'm going to do is just tighten this area here. I have a little 10mm wrench right here. I'm just going to tighten that side. Give it a little wiggle, just make sure the battery's not moving. It looks like it's in place. And over here, I'm just going to do 1 or 2 more turns. You don't want it too tight, but you want it tight enough that it just kind of sits in place. And it looks like it's pretty good at this point. So what I'm going to do now, just take that original negative and just put it on top here. There you go. You can see it fits. So I'm going to take off the first positive terminal and just stick it on top here. And I'm going to tighten it with a 10mm. Just pushing down the terminal while I'm tightening with the 10. And it looks, just give it a little wiggle and just make sure it's on tight. And it looks like it is. I'll go ahead and put the positive cap cover on. And then let's take off the negative terminal. And let's try to make it fit. And you can see the car is powering back on. I hear certain things. Give it a little wiggle there. Press down the terminal again. And just give it a little tighten. It looks like it's securely in place, and that's the install of the Optima battery. It looks pretty good, I would say. I'm pretty excited about it. Let's zoom back out. And that's what it looks like with the rest of the STI engine components. Let's go ahead and give the car a start. So let me go ahead and do that now. So that's the STI. It started. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to let it run for a few minutes and then close out. But thanks for watching. That's how you install an Optima battery. Hopefully that was helpful. And have a good one.